So I played a bunch of games after the patch came out, and let's just say I wasn't really impressed. This might take some time to get a better opinion on and get used to, but a first impression is going to matter. I want to talk about what's good, what's wrong, and what the potential meta could be. So let's get right into it. Well, let's start with the pros first. So the main thing that they changed was hand cannon accuracy. So it's like year one now, thank God. Accuracy was so bad and they got so many ghost bullets. You couldn't hit anything. Like it was just like one in like every third chance of getting your shot. They also nerfed the range, which kind of like balances out the other changes. But I think it was worth it in the end. You know, range for getting really good accuracy. Next up, auto rifles. I really like to use auto rifles now. They buffed it so it does like 28 damage to the head, which can actually compete with other guns. But it's still not as good as something like hand cannons. Hand cannons are still gonna dominate. Clever Dragon. They actually balanced it pretty nicely. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a lot from when the patch notes came. When I tested it out, it felt really nice. It might need a little change later on with that archetype, because it's not fair that they nerfed like all the archetypes for just one gun. That was really good. Like they might want to change that later. Next up, Jug Shield. They got nerfed so you can't warrior like a Canadian who just saw me pursue up across the map. Next up, Shinobu's Vow. They nerfed so you can't spam anymore, thank God. You already have to run for 5 hours when you're getting chased by them. You don't want to run for another 5 hours just to die. They also nerfed the range of Thunder Strike, thank God, Bungie, it's about time. Oh wait, they didn't really change it that much. Who cares, nerf is a nerf. Next up, High Count. They made sure that it was balanced across all like weapon types, so pulses weren't too good with them, but something like the Sky Rifle wasn't as bad. Alright, so last but not least, Shoulder Charge got a buff, which I really like since all I do is Shoulder Charge in year 1 and 2. It's what made Striker fun back then, so it's good to see that it's coming back. Now let's talk about the cons, and spoiler alert, there's a lot. Special Ammo change was a good attempt, but honestly, in my opinion, it was pretty bad. PvP is too passive if you don't play extremely bad players who push up. Also, Special Ammo is now a target. It feels like year 1 heavy when people just group up and you got a super with their name on it. Another thing was that there's a problem like this in year 2 trials that Bungie had to change Special Ammo in the first place. But now they brought it back and it's the same thing but it's worse. One thing the patch did really good though is made that Rumble feel extremely better now. Before I used to never play Rumble. I like barely, only for like videos or something. Now I'm probably going to play it a lot more because it feels so much more fun. Everyone's using primaries, they're dueling. Maybe Bungie can just make this patch only for Rumble, and they can just change everything else instead. Next up, shotguns. Let's just get straight to the point. Shotguns are horrible, and the only reason that is because the inaccuracy for shotguns is just awful. They had ghost bullets before, but now almost every shot is a ghost bullet. Next up, sticky nades got buffed, which I don't really think they deserve since sticky nades are kind of overpowered. Not really, but they're just annoying to play against because you can just spam them. Another thing they did was nerf quick draw and blade answers, which was probably the only thing that was good about them until now. Now the class is probably going to be dead. That's just my opinion though. Now, the biggest disappointment of the patch was that they didn't even change it enough. Barely any changes to exotics, a lot of weapons could still use a buff. Sunbreaker has consistency issues, and they didn't even fix the flinch on snipers. Now, what will the meta be? Now, I personally think that the meta is going to be Nolan beyond sidearm, because they weren't affected by the flinch nerf, and they weren't affected by the special ammo nerf, so that's double bonus. So, yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of those, because I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, that's it from me for now. Catch y'all later. Be sure to like and subscribe, and peace.